Right, Richard No Middle Woods, by the way, just reporting in from Community Law, the Community Law Building in Christchurch, New Zealand. Breaking news. Dun, dun, dun. No, seriously, it's actually quite serious. I'm making this video because, like I say, this is my YouTube channel where I want people to sort of like get to know me first. I'm trying to get myself out there. And if people like my latest stuff, they can look back and sort of like see my journey a wee bit further back. So I'm at Community Law. The reason I'm at Community Law is because around about 10 months ago, well, about a year ago, I had a very powerful, unique spiritual awakening. And shortly after I had that awakening, I chose to share my experiences on Facebook with my friends and family to help me work through it, and also because I just felt like I wanted to help others feel, because it made me feel so great. I just wanted to help others feel the same way. But what it actually did was freak a lot of people out, especially my mother and father, more to do with some of the comments around my money situation. And then my ex, the mother of my children, she got in touch. They got in touch with her, and she suddenly very much disliked what I was doing. And between her and my parents, she basically, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to refrain from being judgmental and negative. Basically, they were worried about me, and they asked me to go to see a psychiatrist, and I said yes, no problem. I'll go along and I'll see the psychiatrist, and just to put their minds at rest. I thought, I'll go and see these people. I'm no different to what I normally am. I've just had an awakening, and God's come into my life. That happens to people all the time. It's happened for years and years and years. I'll just explain myself, and everything will be cool, and then they'll understand that I'm not lost my mind or gone crazy or anything like that. And I went along with it. So I went in to see them, and they started telling me that I needed medication and that there was something wrong with me. And I was like, there's nothing wrong with me. I said, I've just explained myself. And what are you diagnosing me with? And they said, well, we think you're slightly elevated, you're happier, and you have more energy. This was on the first meeting at the hospital, where I saw 2 nurses, then I had to see a doctor, then I had to see a psychiatrist, then I had to see a team of psychiatrists. And I told them all exactly the same thing, and I told them all there was nothing wrong with me. I was talking to them just like I'm talking to you on this camera now, and I could not believe myself. Like, I knew what I was saying was like maybe would shock people. But that's because they had never had a spiritual awakening, or they didn't believe in God, or they didn't understand any of that stuff. But these were trained psychiatrists and doctors that should be analysing me on myself, on how I am as a person, right? Not based on what I believe, right? They've told me all the way through. Well, you can believe what you like. We're not questioning your belief or your faith. I'm like, okay. So what happened then was I refused to take medication. I was like, I'm not taking medication. Like I said, I'll happily come and see you guys again as much as you like. I'll talk to you as much as you want, but I'm not taking medication. I'm not doing that. There's nothing wrong with me. And I went and saw a psychiatrist at the local mental health department hospital. And I went in and saw him, and luckily I had the insight, because I was so gobsmacked by the way I was the way I was judged and diagnosed in the hospital, that I thought, I'm not sure if I can trust these guys. They thought, what if this psychiatrist reacts the same way? So I asked him if I could record the sessions, and he agreed. And I used my GoPro, and I also had a dictaphone in my pocket as backup in case something went wrong or whatever. And I'm really glad I did, because I've had a bit of a nightmare with my saving the videos and stuff, so I've lost some of the videos. I do have one video. I think I've got one video all the way through, which is quite an important one to have on camera. And yeah, I've lost my train of thought. 1 sec. So yeah, so I went and saw this doctor. I'm not gonna name his name right now. But I went to see this psychiatrist, this professional psychiatrist, and I walked in. I sat down with him, and he immediately talked to me. In my opinion, made me feel that he had already decided there was something wrong with me, because he was like, "Okay, well, we're just here to help. Okay, we just want to help you." And I talked to you, and he talked to me like this, and then this. Now I'm not sure. Maybe he talks like that to everybody outside of his job. Maybe that is just his personality. I do not know. I would not want to judge him, because I know what it feels like to be judged back, right? I'm just saying that's how he's talking to me, and that's how it made me feel. It felt like, oh, hang on a minute, why are you talking to me like that? Like, just talk to me like, I just felt like it, you know what I mean? I'm sure you can understand what I mean. So I went through the interview. I answered all his questions. Actually, at the beginning of the interview, I wanted to know quite clearly what my rights were. I wanted to know whether or not whether he could just decide there's something wrong with me and detain me and force me to take drugs. And it took me a little while to get the answer out of him, because I don't think he quite understood what I was saying, what I was asking. And they said yes. So I thought, oh, no. So, I was like, wow. But anyway, went through, and I just answered the questions. I told him some stuff about me, and at the end of it, he told me that he still thinks in his opinion, he thinks I'm suffering with mania. And I said, what? And I asked him what it's based on, and he said, well, the symptoms of mania are people spend lots of money, they run with big ideas, and then give up. They have lots of grand ideas, they can be erratic with their driving, and they can feel really overconfident. And he kept saying turbocharged. He kept saying. And I was like, well, all those things that you've mentioned there are part of my personality. Like, I've always been bad with money. I've never really cared about money. I've always had big ideas, and I've always had little dings and donks and crashes in my car. That's not unusual for me. And this elevation thing that you keep talking about, elevate. That's me. That's how I talk. That's how I am. That's just me. I'm happy most of the time. I'm confident, and I change topic when I don't even really think I do change topic. I just talk quite fast. It's just how I am. So then it was like, he kept saying about being elevated, and I was like, I don't understand what you. I said, but I'm not elevated. It's basically just his opinion. So anyway, he diagnosed me with that. I've got a feeling that he was led to believe that behaviour was out of character. I don't know for sure, because no one will tell me. But basically, I carried on seeing them, and they kept on telling me that there was something wrong with me. They kept on telling me that I was suffering with mania and I needed to take medication. And I was like, I'm not. There's nothing wrong with you. When are you gonna in my head? You know what I mean? I'm like, what for fuck's sake? Like, when are you going to get the message that this is just me? I've just changed my belief, and you telling me that that's okay. I can believe whatever I like. Just like the mother of my children said, she doesn't care what I believe. Right? Believe in. So then next thing I know, like, the mother has turned around to me and said, oh, they say they're telling me that you're psychotic, and that that I need to take out a parenting order against you, and supervised visits have been recommended. And I was like, they've said nothing to me about that. I find that very strange. I honestly didn't believe her. Honestly, at the time, I didn't believe her. And I was like, went back and I challenged him about it. I brought it up with the psychiatrist, okay? With Angela, my mother of my children there, and a friend. And he tried to tell me that he'd told me about the supervised visits in the meeting prior. And I said, no, you didn't. And he said, he tried to make out that he told me after, because I had the GoPro running, and on the first meeting, my GoPro ran out of battery. Okay. And he tried to tell me that he may have told me about the supervised visits after my GoPro ran out, but he didn't know that I had the backup dictaphone in my pocket. And I said, oh, really? You said it after that? He said, well, I don't know, And I was like, well, that's okay, because I had a dictaphone in my back pocket, in my backup in my pocket. So I've got evidence that he never mentioned supervised visits to me whatsoever. And as far as I'm concerned, they never mentioned psychosis or being psychotic to me at all. All they ever said was I was slightly elevated, more confident and happier. I kept saying to them, well, surely that's what everyone wants, isn't it? What's wrong with being confident, happy and having lots of energy? That's what everyone wants, isn't it? And he told me that it's okay to feel like that sometimes, but not all of the time. And I was like, well, one, I don't feel like it all of the time. I'd like to, though. I don't want to believe that that's not possible. That's what I've been striving towards all my life, and now I've had the spiritual awakening. I'm way closer to achieving that, and I'm working to. And I know it's possible now. I know it really is possible in my heart because I've experienced it. This real euphoria, feeling amazing. I know there's loads of other people out there that have been through what I've been through. So, yeah. So next time I've got like parenting order taken out against me. Now I'm only allowed to see my children supervised every fortnight, and this went on for I had to see him over quite a few weeks. And it wasn't until my parents flew over from England and sat down with the doctor and said, look, Richard is exactly the same as he was before, even though they had concerns originally. They said, Richard is exactly the same as we've spent time with. He's exactly the same as he was before. He's always, and they confirmed that I've always done these things. Dr. Faulkner eventually signed me off. Okay. Now here's the thing, though, right? Is they never served me with a mental health act. Therefore, they never thought that I was at risk of harming myself or anyone else. They told me, I've got it on tape, that he thinks it was just if it was anything, it was a mild form of mania. Okay? So why is he recommending supervised visits to my other half, or my mother and my children, based on that? That is ridiculously out of order. Ridiculously. I was like, I didn't understand why. And why has he done it behind my back? And also, he failed to put it in the report. He has not put it in the report. So there's no actual evidence. Right, so the courts have issued this parenting order on hearsay alone. The psychiatrist has acted very unprofessionally behind my back, and he's tried to cover himself up. Okay? He's talked to me very, very, almost like he doesn't like me, almost like he doesn't take me seriously and things like that. I know that for a fact now. After dealing with him after that first time, I thought, no, you really don't take me seriously. I'm not taking anything. You're not listening to a word I say. He avoids all my questions. He even said on the telephone call I had with him, I said, look, by the end of it, here's the other thing, right? Right, check this out, okay? At the beginning, when I first saw him, he's like, it's okay. We're just here to help. We just want to help, okay? I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, right? Then once he'd signed me off, and I'm going through the court procedure, in the final report, he wrote something like, it's hard to rule out completely that Richard might not have an underlying delusional disorder of some description, and that would have to be based on the fact that his spiritual belief was part of the illness. That does not say for 1 second that I'm mentally ill or there's anything wrong with me. That's just his opinion, right? And he's even put that it had to be based on a spiritual belief that they're saying shouldn't be involved. Why he put that in the report, I do not know. But that's given the mother leverage for them to still not let me see my children. So I still can't see my children unsupervised, even though I've been signed off, even though I wasn't served the Mental Health Act, even though I've done nothing wrong except express myself on Facebook. I still can't see my children because the system is in place. And I've done everything. I've done everything that they've asked me for except one thing, and that is getting a second report done. I tried to get this doctor, the same doctor, to see me one more time on their say so. Right? They even sent him an email asking him to, and he refuses to see me again. He will not see me one more time to right the wrong that he did, and because I've been voiced what I believe to him, what I know, and he doesn't like that. He doesn't like the fact that I've told him what I think, so he won't see me again. And I have to admit, I won't lie, I'm paranoid about seeing another psychiatrist. I don't see why I should. And they're using my children's love against me. They're saying, well, if you loved your children, if you really want to see your children, you'll go and get a second report. Simple as that. I'm like, but hang on a minute. I'm not guilty of anything here. And plus, I've already done that for you once. And look what happened. I'm not going to do it. Why are you asking me to do something again that went terribly wrong for me? Like, it's quite clear that there's nothing wrong with me. They haven't diagnosed me with anything. There's nothing to say that I've got anything wrong with me. And the mother knows me so well that she knows I'd never hurt those children in any way, shape or form. She's just worried about what I'm going to say to them. Well, so fucking what? I'm a dad. I can say what I like to my children, just like she can. I let her say what she likes to them. So I should be allowed to say what I like to my children. And the children's lawyer has been trying to tell me what I can and can't say to my children. And I'm like, but on ridiculous things, like issues like how they brush their teeth, issues on me just parenting. Like, it's not even God-related stuff. Like, even if I'm allowed to bring my children up to believe in God, surely isn't everyone in the world allowed to bring their children up to believe in God if they want to? I'm not going to force it on them. But if I want to give them an opportunity to find God and listen to God and have a relationship with God, then I'm quite within my rights to. Absolutely. Whew. So, this is like what's gone on. It's still going on now. It's unbelievable. I hardly see my children at all because supervisors, I can't hardly get, they just basically left it all up to me. There was no support. They haven't come to investigate my home or me or anything. The system hasn't done anything to try and chase this up. I've had they're saying that my children are at risk, but they're not actually looking into it to try and see if what they're saying is right or wrong. It's quite. You can imagine how hard this has been for me. Like this last 10 months of this. But I'm soldiering on. But then it's like there's a conspiracy almost, because I've even got this. I went in and when I realised that the mother of my children may be actually saying things to convince this psychiatrist that I'm acting out of character and that and all this stuff to making me sound bad to him, so making him judge me. I was like, I don't want because I gave consent for her to communicate with her to begin with, because I was trusting and caring and loving. I didn't think she was going to stitch me up like that. I knew she didn't like me much, but I didn't think she'd go to those lengths. If she did, like she says she doesn't. She says she isn't, and I'm sure she's doing it for her own love for the children. But sorry, one sec. I've lost my train of thought again. I do apologise. Sorry, I get carried away. It's very hard. It's very emotional for me. Oh, that was right. Yeah. So I went back to the psychiatrists and I walked into the office and I just calmly, patiently asked them if they could revoke Angela's communications with the hospital and the doctors. Didn't say anything about any reason, or just said, look, I just would like that done. And the receptionist was perfectly fine with me. No signs of her thinking there was anything wrong with me. And then suddenly in the report, it says that Richard didn't seem right, and that I was insistent that they removed Angela from the records because I didn't trust her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's complete and utter lies. It was nothing like that. And it was only lucky that I had the insight to record myself when I went in there. I just felt it in my heart. God told me to record this thing because something bad might happen. So I listened to God. I listened to it because he talks to me directly. I listened to him and I recorded that session, that little moment. And I have evidence of me talking to them and them talking back to me. And I've got the report where it clearly says something completely different. So time has passed now. If I'd tried to pursue this earlier, it would have been wrong timing. But now I'm going to go into the community law and I'm going to ask for some advice. I want to get some legal advice because this is wrong. I'm being forced to do stuff I shouldn't do. My human rights have been taken away from me. My father's rights have been taken away from me. My freedom of speech has been taken away from me. and they are making my life a misery, or they're like, at times, it's only lucky that I'm a very strong-minded, powerful, strong person who can cope with this, and I'm doing exactly what I need to do. Like I've had to stop work. I lost my business. I was setting up a business, so I set up a business so I could have my children in my life 50-50. I wanted to have them in my life 50% of the time. I wanted them week on, week about basis, and I made that happen, and everything was cool and fine until the spiritual awakening happened, and I told their mother that I believed in God. She's a bit of an atheist, right? And then from then, within a week, so everything started to change, right? And all this happened, right? And it's just not right. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that are struggling and with lots of things that I'm talking about on here. And I want to make change. I want to find a way to change this. This can't carry on, because I reckon there's a lot of people that have had experiences that they don't understand in one way, shape or form, spiritually or whatever you want to call it. Sudden changes in their mind and the powerful things, and then they go and sit. This could be happening to people all over the world. This could be happening to millions of people, and there's going to be a huge awakening. There's a huge awakening going on right now. People are waking up all over the place. I don't want this to happen to anyone else, right? I really don't, and that's what I'm all about. And that's what my YouTube stuff is, just about loads of things. I want to try and cover so many topics because I'm passionate about a lot, but this is the current one this is what's happening in my life and what I have to deal with, and I'm about to go and get some advice, and I'm going to pursue it further. So I hope if there's anyone out there that can relate to this, can you please subscribe and follow along with my videos. Get in contact with me if you want to, in one way, shape or form, right? And we can try and do something this together. At least we can support each other. If you're going through something similar, or you're going actually doing something about it, then we can bounce off each other with ideas about what we can do, and feed and compare what's going on. We can support each other. We can do all sorts. I'm there for anyone, man. I'm all about helping people, right? And I need support myself. So please hit subscribe and watch. My videos will be about all sorts of different things. I've got 2 YouTube channels, and I've got my Facebook page at the moment. Currently, I'm going to be building websites. I'm going to be doing other stuff, but for now, I'm just slowly but surely finding my I know what my purpose is, but I'm finding my themes and my direction. I'm in the very early stages. So please, let's address this issue together on here. YouTube's safe, man. It's like there's so much on there. Like, this will go unseen for a long time. Like, only the people that are going to see it are people that are interested in it, and the people that can relate to it, right? So they're going to be on my side, our side, whatever you want to call it, and we can all work together. So love you all. My name's Richard, no middle name Woods, and I'm going to go in there now because I think the doors have opened. I wanted to be here early, and I'll keep you updated. And I'm going to post some stuff. I'm going to post a lot of stuff that I've recorded loads of stuff, right? I've got loads and loads of stuff recorded over the last year. I've been bombarding my Facebook page with all my journey, with all the experiences, with everything that's going on, the crazy stuff, the insight, the emotions, the court cases, everything. I've got everything documented and that. So I'm going to be sharing a lot of this. I'm going to put this out there now. I'm going to go say goodbye. Hopefully I can connect with as many people as possible, because this is serious, really serious. Bye-bye.